Greetings, lovely listeners. I'm Goddess Aroya, and I'm thrilled to welcome you to Elevate and Dominate, the place where power meets play.
Hello, darlings. I'm Mistress Odessa, and alongside the incredible Head Mistress Kayla and Goddess Aroya, we're your guides into the captivating world of alternative dominant women.
That's right. Whether we're exploring the intricacies of dom-sub relationships or celebrating the sheer strength of women, this podcast is your VIP path to an empowering and unapologetically bold journey.
We're not holding back anything, shedding light on the real stories in the sex work industry to share our own experience and insights.
So buckle up, because you're in for a thrilling ride filled with enlightenment, entertainment, and empowerment.
Get ready to be captivated by our conversations, where every episode is a celebration of the extraordinary and the fearless.
Welcome to the Elevate and Dominate podcast. Warning, this show has many tech issues, but we thought you should still see it. So, don't worry. We're just keeping it real. We are still looking for a backup sub to help out at the studio. If that's you, contact us with your information and your resume. To the Elevate and Dominate podcast. I am, looking at this camera, I am Goddess Aroya.
I was going to say Mistress Kayla, that's so funny. Mistress Odessa, or Odessa.
And I'm Mistress Kayla.
Yeah, we're all listening. We all know each other.
Yes, you know us. Y'all know who we are. Shit. We here. Yes, welcome if this is your first time viewing. Today's topic is the psychology of shame in the world of BDSM. I think the title should be Dismantling the Shame.
It could be like, no shame in my game.
That's right. No shame in my game. That was the actual title that I had. No shame in my game. Dismantling shame in the BDSM community. And I think it's really important for us to talk about this because I feel like a lot of people are, experiencing the shame for it. So they don't share their journey with people and they are hiding in the dark. And I feel like that's okay. You have to do what you have to do in order to keep your name the way it is. But I want to talk about it because I realize that is an issue of like vanilla conditioning.
Yeah, which is weird.
But we'll talk about that. But let's get into our hot topics before anything starts.
Yes.
So we have a major hot topic. We are just going to state right off the back that we are not apolitical.
Yeah, we're not affiliating. We're just.
We are not affiliated. We are not paid. No ads are paid for here.
Yeah, if you want to though.
I mean, hey. But I think it's important for us to discuss it because we are women. And we were discussing it a couple weeks ago that we were kind of worried. We were worried after the debate because it was just like two kids fighting. It was just ridiculous.
Yeah. They were like talking about their golf swing. I was like, what's happening
What
here?
is happening? It was a little
It's
crazy.
a whole different thing. Like if you want to talk about golf swing and like golf, like that is a different
right.
Probably
we
not.
can definitely talk about that, but as like a president, I'm like, I mean, any dude in Calabasas also plays golf. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's not so special.
I mean, for me, it just wasn't what we really wanted to see. And I mean, okay. But moving forward, we did feel a little leery about our president. And now we have a new candidate that is coming in. And I was just interested to see how you guys felt about it. I have a lot of mixed views, and I'm not going to say anything that's derogatory or anything that's going to demean anybody, but I just kind of feel like personally we don't know enough about the candidate because that candidate was not in the face of everyone enough during the whole presidency, and so now it's kind of like, to me, it feels like a last minute, like, hey, grab her, throw her out there. And it's like, damn, now what do we do? And I think that's important. I mean, that's a scary thing for the country. I don't know how it's just crazy. I mean, her being a black woman is amazing. I love that idea, okay? Yes, I love it. And her being a woman, yes. But I just need to know more. I need to know more. I didn't learn enough the first time. But I don't want it to be another situation like last time where it was like, okay, we're just trying to get away from this person, and then these last 4 years have not been good.
I don't like her.
Yes. You understand?
Yeah, it is a hot topic, and we're here to address those.
Yes,
you know?
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I just am not a fan. That's all.
yeah, fair.
I mean, I don't think she's probably not the worst option at all, but yeah. I just think she does how I feel like I should have felt proud. Like, oh my God, you're a woman, and like not for nothing, but like I'm a black woman. Like I should have felt proud.
Okay.
Yeah. It's interesting. I knew that it was essentially like someone was getting their like package written to leave, the race.
Right.
But I don't know. There's so much going on right now. I'm like, even like the computers going down. Remember, like the fights and stuff. Like even that, I'm like weird timing with everything else going. I don't know.
It's not a mistake that every 4 years we have the Olympics and every 4 years we have an election. You know what I mean? To get us excited about America, and I think I love the Olympics.
Talking about that last night, how there's certain movies that were released at certain times to be like, oh, like you can like. You're in a better situation than like what these movies are representing, or the opposite, or like you might thrive and be in this position.
And I know the media knows how to sway the world into certain situations, and so I just want everybody to be informed. I think for me, I just have to get more informed. I did not feel that I was that informed when I voted 4 years ago. You understand? And I was just like, dang. And then, but at the end of the day, there is a lot more at stake. And I think it's very important for each one of us to just do your research and do your homework. Yeah. If you're going to be voting, you should, because I
was like never like I was always one of those like, oh, my vote like doesn't actually count. But I was listening to like actually on Spaces on, I think it was TikTok or like X or something, but like someone said, and they were actually in the UK, and they made the point of like, like not that long ago, like women couldn't vote, but enough people voted to get that right. So it is like possible. So even though like I don't know what the heck is going on and it's all confusing and like, well, what do you mean like someone just tried to shoot someone like that? But just vote, because in either way, like we can now vote. So like, and that happened for a reason. I
think that's probably the most important thing. Whoever you vote for, just vote, because this is a critical time. And then after that, be happy with the decision. Let's not let this world just go up in a freaking upheaval because of whatever decision is made. Because I feel like either decision that's made is going to be crazy. Yeah, we're going to be dealing with some shit for the next umpteen years, no matter what. So I think it's a time for us personally to get our personal households in order, and our personal minds in order. And I think that just brings us into the whole segue of BDSM. You know what I'm saying? And not being shamed in your lifestyle and in your love life and in anything that you do, because moving forward, all of that is important. I really believe that. So are there any other hot topics that you guys?
I mean, that's like most major one I would feel.
I mean, well, so do you guys like the Olympics?
No. I mean, I don't dislike them. I don't care either way.
You don't watch the Olympics?
It's not that I don't watch them. I just like, I was told they were starting this weekend or whenever, and like it's happening today in like France, and like my sister's wife is like part French, so like I know they're going to whatever in LA, like the French consulate, and like having croissants. Like I know that.
Oh,
so, like,
that's nice.
Yeah, and then I'm like, outside of that, I don't really can't say much.
I am a buff from high school. I was in sports in high school, and I did shot put and I did track and field. So I love.
You did shot put, really?
I did shot put. Well, I have the build for a shot putter, don't I? If you see these shot putting women, you'll be like, oh my God! If you see how I used to look, I fit right in the line with them. Yeah. Just up top here, like super big. You know what I'm saying? The shoulders. But I quit in high school because I had a shot put in my locker. And they always tell me, don't put your shot put in your locker. And I was like, what are you talking about? I gotta go to class right after. So I opened mine in the middle of the day.
Oh no!
And it fell out of my locker and broke my foot. And I could not compete anymore. It was off my lead-in foot, so I couldn't even compete anymore. And that was like my last year, and I was like, who cares? Like, I'm not gonna go to the Olympics. Yeah. When I seen these women, I was like, damn. Maybe I could have went to the Olympics. I like competition. I like the spirit of just seeing a person train and get to
like competing against themselves.
That is just so dope to
true,
me.
Yeah.
How
do you feel about powerlifting being added into the Olympics?
That's dope.
That's
really dope. I think that's really
How
cool.
do you feel when you see the form?
Well,
like, it hurts me.
It hurts me too, but apparently it works. Because a lot of the form that I'm seeing, a lot of the stuff that we learn is more practical for day to day. But for these heavy lifts that these people are doing, have you seen that black woman that was lifting a couple of years ago? I don't know if she's in it this year.
I don't know. I think I saw like the men's powerlifting, and it just hurt me so much that I was like, I can't. Like, ugh, the knees.
Oh my god!
Because all it is like they just want them to hold like
they want to
position
give the
for X amount of time.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. But like the knees when they cave in and the ankles and like. And they're like walking for them is cardio. I'm like, something is not. It's like very unhealthy.
Yeah. Do you go to the gym? Like to the gym outside of like? Have you been to the gym lately?
No, not like a public one.
I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I go to I'm gonna say PF because they ain't nobody paying our bills. I go to PF quite a bit, and just the.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, I can imagine.
I train my. Oh my god.
It's terrible.
The form in there, I'm like, I have to look up sometimes when I'm training in there because it is scary. The stuff that people do is insane.
It's Oh, it gives me like the. I don't. Anyways, so wait, should I go over the definition of shame again?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So according to Google, definition of shame is painful feeling of humiliation or distress caused by the consciousness of wrong or foolish behavior. It's like a mouthful.
That's a huge mouthful.
And what does it even mean?
Say it one more time.
Painful feeling of humiliation or distress caused by the consciousness of wrong or foolish behavior. It's like,
The consciousness. The
Yeah.
recognition of.
What does that mean in general?
But like you said, it's very subjective.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of subjective to your upbringing, like because something that you do that might be shameful to you might not be shameful to me. So that's very vague when it comes to
right?
Yeah,
it's super vague.
Yeah, it's like just like the biggest
Super
like
subjective
area ever. It's like saying like, oh, like it's hot outside. Like, what do you mean?
Right. To you it's hot, but to me it feels
like,
great. I'm
relaxed yesterday, and I was like, "Are you cold?" And she's like, "No," and I was like, "I'm freezing." You know, like
right. It's very.
It's not warm for me.
Right.
But again, according to Google, there are 4 types of shame, which I think is like not enough. But I just thought it was interesting that they said that there was 4 types. There's like existential, situational, class, and narcissistic. And it's like
class shame, like as what?
Like either race or poverty, or
where
you live, you know?
Yeah.
Tax
and what
bracket,
was the second? Situational.
Situation.
Okay.
So that one was like really interesting because it said feeling of embarrassment or humiliation that arises when someone violates a cultural norm, ethical principle, or interpersonal. What does it say? Boundary.
That makes sense.
That makes sense. Yeah.
But again, it's situational. What's the cultural norm? Like in this
depends.
walls, the cultural norm
where
is
you
like,
are.
But it depends because like one of our clients that you know. So their family would feel shame if they knew that they gambled.
Oh.
So in that sense, like that's not a cultural norm for them because in that society, their money is very close to their heart, and they don't use it for things that are subjective to help the family. And so gambling is frivolous.
Yeah,
and
also,
so that's
like, culturally like gambling because like my parents are in Vegas right now, right? So it was like Vegas is like that's one of the main things you do. But I think when it becomes like cultural, it's like when you can't control it. So now an addiction. So regardless of like how you grew up, but like that's when it's like a cultural situational thing. But it's like I don't know. What if all your like family like gambles too much? And it's like.
But to them it's not shameful. It's a part of their thing.
Where are you going? Can I get a ride?
You know what?
Crazy though. Yeah.
What I did research is that.
We have that narcissistic shame.
Oh, what was it? Narcissistic shame?
I took a photo. So you
like that. I need to know.
Yeah, that has more so to do with like narcissists for sure. Shame can play a role in narcissism and vice versa. People with narcissistic personality disorder may have fragile egos and repressed shame, but they often don't want to feel vulnerable. To avoid shame, they may create a persona that seems invulnerable to criticism. However, if this persona is threatened, they may experience shame, which can lead to narcissistic behavior.
Yeah.
Which is like, yeah, done. That's like the whole...
Interesting that is like one of the subcategories.
I know,
so,
right?
yeah.
I would have never... When I saw it, I was like, what does that mean? Like,
yeah, because they act like they're never ashamed.
I know.
But I did research that. I did hear that, like, that's probably one of the reasons why they are narcissistic is because they've experienced a lot of shame, and so they're able to kind of reflect what they've experienced.
Yeah.
Which is...
It's sad, but...
It is sad.
It's like, that line is not fine. Like, that line is, like, a very, like, thick road of, like, no. Like, it's too much.
Yeah.
One of the things that I read and researched that was so interesting to me was that, you know, at one time, this was the... Shame is the way that you could get to someone and break down their confidence.
Yeah.
So if you challenge them, if you use shame... You challenge them, and they're more likely to regress from any type of combat or conflict because you've hit a nerve in their past or something that they're not willing to share with people. And so that is often the thing that people use to ridicule someone.
Yeah, narcissist.
Yeah. Especially a narcissist.
Yeah,
but like society, so like if you were at a job, I think of it as like me being a corporate CEO and someone comes in and says, oh, I have video of you in a session with someone and they da-da-da-da-da-da. And the shame of that could make that person step down from their position.
But it's so funny because to me, I'm just like, how did you find it though? You were
searching
for something.
Right, but see, that doesn't matter to some people. Some people are so shameful about their life and what they do here that, you know, I'm sure some people have unalived themselves because of the information that could have been passed through. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that is sad.
It's really sad.
That's really sad when sometimes when you feel, I feel like this is a way to be so much more in touch with your inner feelings, your childhood, the things that have changed your life and possibly can help you go into another arena of your life. And then you have this aspect where you're like, oh, but no one can know. Oh, like that's so...
It sucks.
It sucks. It really sucks.
This community mostly is like an unconditional, like shameless community. Like most of the time I'm like,
shameless?
Like
shameless, like,
well, like when you're in, like the context
here,
we're just like literally I'm like, oh, is that it? That's all you want? I'm like, okay, you know, like that's the kind of shame I feel like I give. I'm like, okay, like sure, you like feet, awesome, like that's it, cool. Yeah.
I think the one thing that does give me joy is the fact that I did have a stigma when it came to, before knowing this whole arena, the people that you would meet. I had this whole thing like I was so fucking great and that I was so above everyone else that I thought, oh God, I'm going to meet a bunch of weirdos. And why the fuck do I just kind of settle in? Because I'm a weirdo too. You know what I'm saying?
You are amazing. You are above people, and we are always meeting weirdos. But that's a beautiful part of it.
That's the beautiful part of it.
They're putting you up on the pedestal. They're like, this is where you belong, and like, I'm weird, but really they're not weird.
They're not weird, and it's definitely a great feeling to where like I have friends. I just came from Pennsylvania, and my homegirl, you know, she's my age, and she's always like, girl, she's so like living vicariously through me, like, girl, like tell me more, because I always
follow you were meet in Philly.
My friend Michelle, yeah. Oh no, that was the other Dom. I met her too. I met with her. She's gonna meet us in New Orleans, but
yeah, we aren't talking about that. Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like, you know, as much as people, I know, like I used to be heavy in church, you know. So as much as I know, they look and they're like, look at this harlot, look at her, Jezebel, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? But they probably like, oh God, I wonder what she's doing.
Right?
One of my
They're like, where's her basket that I put
my money in? I want to know what you're doing, because I am like living my life. I'm really, I don't, that element of shame is no longer like a thing in like the forefront for me. You know,
and that's what I mean. Like when you're in it, it's very unconditionally unshameless. You know, like when you're in it and you understand it. Obviously, getting into it and like accepting it, different situation.
Yeah.
But like you're one of us 3 or 4 or 5. Like we're just like whatever.
You're like, this is your life.
Yeah.
Like,
cool.
I was like, at the end of the day, my homegirl texted me and said, she's like, oh, how was your day? I was like, oh yeah, you know, 5 sessions, a dom session, and and I, you know, and then at the end, I was like, wow. This is a great fucking life. I mean, it could be so much better monetarily, but wow, fucking wow, I love it. I can't even
provide the space for things to like for no shame to enter. I feel like we're providing that safe space.
Yeah.
So you're welcome.
And what I did notice, I mean, I also read is that a lot of shame is kind of deeply based in unworthiness. People not feeling like that they're worthy enough to have joy.
Isn't that crazy? I was just talking to my friend about this the other day.
It saddens me when you have like men that are married to their wives for like 40 and 50 years and they come here and they're like, I'm so happy. And it's like, damn.
Yeah.
So you're okay with just being unhappy in this part of your life?
I don't get that, yeah. I don't get that.
It's so strange to me. It's so very strange to me.
Yeah. But some people's wives know and are like go. You know, like what is Janet's name? Janet.
Oh.
Rob,
yeah.
Like his wife knows exactly where he is. Like the marks, there was one time apparently for 2.5 weeks he had marks for me. But his wife knows that he comes, like she's down for it. She's like, I don't want to do that. Like,
yeah, I have a couple of them too.
Yeah, which I think is beautiful. Like, know that. And they had the conversation, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck it, I don't want to do that. Cool. Like,
but I think that's great.
Exactly.
I think there's a certain energy that lies in a woman that can deal with them to allow their husband or allow their partner to go explore and find what makes them happy.
Yeah,
and then come back happy. Like that to me seems like the pinnacle of relationships. To be in love with someone and they understand. I'm really starting to understand polyamory so much more now. Seriously, like I don't know how it would be, and I'm not making a judgment saying that this is something that I would want to do right now, but I understand it. I understand the fact that like, hey, I can't give you everything you need. I'm tired.
And you can't give me everything.
Exactly.
Fucking much.
Exactly. And I get it. I get like going to find your fucking joy and coming back and like, hey, I'm good. You good? Let's get this good shit together. You know?
To like run like the most like open and honest like open relationships. Oh, I was so good at it for like a little time. Like it was fun.
Yeah, I was so good.
Explain. Well, I mean, I would have like a week and a half or every week check-ins, and like if they were not abiding by my rules, I'd be like, well, we talked about it. Like you gotta go then, you know? Or you can like fix it and you can stay. So it was like successful for a while.
What made it unsuccessful?
Just people being stupid and like drama. Yeah.
Not
there was
telling the truth.
The primary was Jeremy. Like we ended up like just us. You know what I mean? So which was fine, but it is also exhausting. Very tiring.
I bet.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about like personal. Like I'm here and I'm in a place where I'm definitely labeled as a non-monogamous. You know, like for real. Like I'm cool. Don't come around here talking about no relationships. I'm good. Like leave me the fuck alone.
Mm-hmm.
But I see that. I see that right there. Good numbers, make it with. It is definitely it's a battle, man. It's a battle to kind of like really contain yourself and not. I kind of lost my train of thought, honestly. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
The non-monogamy.
The battle of trying to like give a person everything they need.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It is a lot.
Yeah.
It is a lot, and sometimes you can't, and sometimes they actually need it. So I give it up for like the wives of the husbands that are in the BDSM community that understand and aren't a part of it. You deserve a hand because you understand that you can't do everything and that you are not the source of your husband's happiness.
Yeah.
And
not always.
Not always.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, not the source of all of their happiness.
Yeah, and you shouldn't have to be. Like, you can't be like anyone's like emotional rehab. As my best friend says, they've got to find something. And it's cool, like if they talk to you and like you're like, cool, like awesome, go do that. I cannot wait to have a conversation of like what you're able to do. You know what I mean? Like, hell yeah. Like, what does that mean? Tell me everything.
So tell me this. Do you feel like if shame wasn't, like, I'm not sure like what you guys are with your families, like do you feel like shame is a big issue when it comes to explaining to your family about what you do?
Probably
as a person
they
that
don't know that I do this. Well, my sister does.
How?
Well, I feel like they know, but like they're like, they don't know.
They don't care to know anything further.
Yeah, they're like, she doesn't say anything. But they know that I used to do it, so I'm sure it's like in the back of their minds. But I mean, my mom's full-on Catholic. Like, sister is a nun.
Ooh.
Like, so there's that guilt. Also Filipino. Right.
We already know.
Yikes. And then my dad is like Burbank Jewish, which is like there's also like a guilt there.
Burbank?
Yeah.
There's a difference in Burbank.
It's true. We were talking about earlier. There's a difference between like Israeli Jews and like
Burbank
Jews and like my dad.
That's funny.
So,
That's hilarious.
But yeah, they don't know. So I guess like, but I don't feel like shame. I just don't want to have to deal with the guilt that they would try to give me.
Yeah.
Or like not try, but like would give me like subconsciously. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Or unconsciously or like whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you?
I mean, my mom doesn't know. But it's not because it's really not because, like, I'm ashamed or anything. It's really because, like, I don't want her to worry. Like, she's all the way over there.
And you're
like, I'm not going to make her worry. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's insane. Yeah.
Yeah. It's better.
She wonders. She's like,
she
wonders. I think she thinks I sell drugs.
What?
She never asks questions. Like, she knows some things because that's my brother does.
Like,
yeah. So she doesn't ask questions.
Well, my kids, they're drugs. You know that? That's funny. That's really funny.
I think a lot of it too is like when you're able to support yourself and like you seem happy, for whatever it is you're doing, right? Like I think most people are like, all right, no shame in that. Like go and like do whatever you're doing, but they don't necessarily want to know.
Can you do me a favor? Look at the time on there.
Oh yeah, I set another one. I think y'all have like 15 minutes.
Okay.
Oh really? Okay, cool.
Wait, okay, so I just kind of had the thought what you were saying. I forgot what you were saying. I've told my family.
Mm-hmm.
They know. But recently, I had a fucking slip up on Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
Facebook.
I had a slip up on Instagram. I have all my accounts connected. And my little spam page with all my little spicy content on it
got posted. Which you can get on Patreon, by the way.
My spicy content got posted onto Facebook. Okay, my page talking about like, come check me out at Sunday service. I was sitting on somebody's face.
Girl, when you show me that picture, I was like, no.
All my people from church were like, what the heck? Oh my God.
What new church is this and what is the address?
Right, and I'm like, come check me out doing my thing. That was a post.
I love it. Communion.
Yeah. And so it was up there for 2 days. And
blessings.
Right. No, where's your phone? Shame.
No shame. No shame.
So I something told me was like, check your Instagram. Because I remembered like in the midst of posting, I hit a button at the bottom and it said something like share to Instagram, share to Facebook. So I shared two shots, 2 pages to Facebook, and all my people from church, that's all my Facebook people, my family in New Orleans, everybody's seen it.
I can't wait to go to New Orleans.
And they all, and 12 people liked it. 12 people that already knew, right? And then the people that didn't like it, I was like, oh, well, let's just see. I was like, but it said I had like 350 views and I had like 12 likes. I was like, oh, So my mom calls me and she's like, yeah, your uncle called me. And I was like, what? She was like, yeah. He said, so your daughter's a dominatrix now.
Interesting. How does he know exactly?
Yeah.
Just by that photo.
Because he went there and then he was about Venus and Bells, and guess what? He's now following Venus and Bells. So every time
does he follow me?
Yeah, every time you post me, he sees it.
Interesting.
And that's because, you know,
So
he's
you're
the
a
matriarch in our family. And, you know, after my father passed, I just was like, you know what? I'm good. Like, I can do whatever. Like, you know? But he's like my dad. But what I want him to know, if he's watching this episode,
Probably, yeah.
is that I have no shame in my game. I have no shame in my game. I am at a point where I have to be transparent.
Yeah.
If I don't, I will burst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know
That's
what I mean?
something to be proud of. Anyone also in your family that's like a matriarch or like what? Or what'd you say?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, isn't this what you would want?
I feel like a sexually healthy person is amazing to have in a family of people who have been sexually repressed for so very long.
Yes.
We are definitely, I keep saying it, but we are leaders of the new paradigm.
Yeah.
We are informing people on things in a situation, in a life, and in a time that things that used to have a hell of a lot of stigma are now coming to the forefront as things that will change somebody's life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, there may not be a lot of people like us, but...
No, Dawn, there was a lot of people like
But
that.
when I say that, and them too, because they are spearheads in a new generation of people that understand that it's okay to be free and be who the fuck you want to be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that's a good thing. That's a great thing.
I don't even think my mom could like conceptualize what I do. Like, she's only slept with one person. Like, she's like that.
How do you know though?
I know.
I used to
beg
your
her.
mom.
I'd be like, Mom, please, like, just go cheat on him. He's a dick. Like, I would, because like,
So
he was.
your father has gone to glory.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that your mom has been sexually repressed this whole time?
Yeah, and she still won't. And I tried. I tried to hook her up with my aunt's, like, dude's, like, fucking boy, and, like, she just doesn't want it.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a lot of drama with men, so I get that. You know what I mean? Like,
it's true.
Also, like, come on.
I was trying, like, way before he died. No offense to him, but I was like, Mom, come on.
He's going down. Let's go, Mom. Let's go into the body. But it saddens me that there are women that have, like, and now I'm feeling it because, like, I haven't been having sex, but I'm still fulfilled. And so I'm understanding, like, sex is just a transference of energy, a transference of creative energy. Mm-hmm. So what I'm receiving from this is a higher level of creativity. Like, I'm being creative on so many fucking levels that it's insane, you know? And hopefully, I mean, I don't know, what has been your experience, like, as far as the lifestyle? Do you feel like you've been flourishing here, or do you feel like it's diminishing your life?
No, I mean, it definitely helped me. I felt... Yeah, like, I mean, at first I was not, I wouldn't say, like, ashamed, but, like, I was, like, I don't want to tell anybody, you know what I mean? So I guess it was sort of a shame, right?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really want to tell anybody because I was like, I don't want them judging me and, like, da-da-da.
There's lots to figure out.
No, like, I just don't care. I don't care. Judge me, I don't give a fuck.
Now.
Like, what does it do for me? Nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
Doesn't hurt me, doesn't do anything positive, doesn't do anything.
Right.
Like, awesome, get out, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for letting me see it at the beginning. Like,
right?
Yeah. Totally.
Do you feel like now, moving forward, your selection of, like, friendships and everything have to be surrounded in your joy and acceptance of your lifestyle? Or do you feel like you can accept people into your lifestyle that don't accept what you do and still, like, befriend them? Either one of y'all.
So you were answering.
No, I'm very accepting of people. Like, I know that there's some people that, like, don't necessarily, like, agree or they don't understand. Like, my boyfriend back home, like, he's, like, my best friend since we were, like, 12. You know what I mean? he's like worried. Like he doesn't get it. Yeah, he just worries.
Yeah.
Well, and he's like, yeah, you know, like he never said anything bad though, but I could just tell he was like, okay, well, but honestly, him and his wife were both like, well, are you happy? And I was like, yeah, I'm happy. And they were like, okay. So it wasn't like a judgmental thing. It was more of a like, I'm worried something for you. Thing. Yeah, are you safe?
Yeah.
Because you're crazy. Yeah.
I mean, because there are interesting people, you know.
Yeah.
Regardless.
And I like interesting people, unfortunately.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's much more fun.
I'm like, oh, you're a bad person, but I'll deal with it. Like, come tell me your story.
Just for an hour.
So I think it's always great for us to end the show on telling, what was the time now you see? I think it's really interesting in us ending the show with maybe a few tips on how to deal with the shame.
Is there anything you want to get into from here?
The history. You have
Yeah,
history.
let's go into some of the history.
Yeah, so basically the only thing I really had was like kind of like dates. So it's really hard to tell like when it became like unacceptable because it like you can go like to like medieval times and like whatever and like realize like it was prevalent then.
Mm-hmm.
But the first when were the witch trials?
I don't know.
Before 1776, 1600s?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so I know then at that point, like in the 1600s, like they were publicly shaming any kind of lewd sexual acts or like sexual acts outside of marriage.
Mm-hmm.
So that became a thing, and then basically like in 1870, the Venus in Furs or whatever book was written,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like the only like piece of literature at that time to talk about like kink and like BDSM. But so that was 1870, and then 1886 was something called like Psychopathia Sexualis or something.
I read research section. Yeah,
but it was like some dude that basically said like, okay, like, and I don't know why it got so linked together, but like homosexuality is bad and kink is bad, and that kind of like progressed until like we had like Freud basically,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and then which was like the 1920s, I think. And then, like, basically after that, like, the DSM, do you know what the DSM is?
No.
Yeah.
So the DSM is, like, a book of psychological disorders or whatever. So the first one was in the 1950s. Like, this is 1950s.
Yes, I did read that, and they classified this as a psychological disorder.
Yeah,
which
and
is
that
odd
went
to
all
me.
the way until, like, the DSM-5, which was, like, in the 90s.
Is that the current one?
That's the current one.
Yeah.
So before that, it, like, kind of, like, shifted a bit. But it was always kind of like a perversion and like, you know, a mental disorder and degeneration. Yeah. And like they thought it for a long time that it was like, you know, familial.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
But I think I find that very interesting to find now that in research that a lot of this is from how you say it, familiar.
Familial.
Yeah, it's familial. Like a lot of these different moments of shame and these thoughts of being unworthy are from your family and the mindset that's been engraved in their minds and that they're bad for feeling a certain way or loving a certain person. And I just found like we are just like in a place where that has to go.
Yeah. Well, it's like very much like nature versus nurture, but like nature they're saying is one thing and like nurture is like societal.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like it's interesting.
And we're like extremely socially conditioned.
Yeah.
Like extremely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I
like
that.
Honestly, we probably shouldn't think that marriage is like a normal thing. Like not to be a dick, but like think like our animals think like if animalistically like if we were meant to only mate with one person, we'd only mate with one person and that would just be innate. Like, you know what I mean? We just always do that. It's the way we do it, but that's not how we do it.
Yeah. Have you ever read Sex at Dawn?
No.
Mm-mm.
I read like half of the intros, like not too much. But they were saying like when we were like nomadic people or like before like settlers and like, you know, people who had to own things to like prove their worth, it was very much like children were raised by like the tribe and like literally the science behind like the shape of like a man and a woman and like how many orgasms one can have is like literally it's like they are supposed to like in
India, like the Kama Sutra, that was something that was like a part. Like they showed people how to orgasm another person, and like sexual health was something that was important to society because and fulfillment of the woman was important.
Yeah, depending on where you are.
Yeah. In a certain, I mean, like I read some of I have the Kama Sutra. I just got it, and I was reading some of the stuff, and I was like, what? But a lot of it, I was like, okay. But some of the shit, I was like, and it's because it's kind of like a formula. Like, it's not a formula, but it is like directions. Like, this is how you have to do it.
Yeah.
And that was strange to me. But the information in there is very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a societal thing.
But I
like
think
where you grew up, what country you grew up in, what your religion is, like how they look at it, you know?
So do you have any tips for people that will be dealing with the shame and guilt of being in the BDSM community?
I mean, honestly, I would just, like, the only tip I think I could really give is, like, if it makes you happy, like, who the fuck cares? Like, who even cares? Like, if they're not paying your bills, they're not affecting your life, like, I don't, like, who cares?
You said you couldn't be happy and, like, explore things. I mean, don't, like, I don't know, ruin your life, but, like...
Yeah, don't go all crazy, but, like...
Why not explore?
Yeah,
because,
like,
you've been there and you can't get out of your mind.
If it's satisfying and, like, happy to you and, like, you find peace in it, like, what's the problem?
I feel like a few things would help. Here's a few tips that I would suggest for people. One tip would be to find your community, find your tribe. If you feel like you're alone in this, you're not. You're definitely not. There's somebody that likes feet with corn on them too, and they want to eat them corn toes too. You know what I'm saying? There's a mate for you somewhere. Go to FetLife and sign up. Say, I like corn toes, and I need somebody that wants to eat my corn toes. I guarantee you're going to find somebody that likes to eat corn.
Maybe.
It's not like, you know.
Yeah, I know.
It reminds me of, like, Fritos for some reason.
But I mean, there's other things. There are other things that you can do, and that is find a professional that understands this world and this lifestyle that can help you navigate and learn more about your kinks, and you can be more sexually healthy, and you can actually have more creative energy as well. I think that, you know, especially for people that are heads and CEOs of companies, like, this is a great outlet for them as well.
Yeah, anybody in a power position.
Yeah, it's a great way to relinquish your power and feel what it is to be submissive.
Yeah, be taken care of, like, not have to think for a little
That's
bit.
the thing, I think,
Yeah. And I don't know if it caught it on the other realm, but, like, that's what I think is sexy, you know? Like, just knowing what you need and, like, letting it happen and, like, submitting to us.
Yeah, and going to our Patreon.
Yeah.
Yes, and following our Patreon.
Yeah. And I know I had a sad face about the corn toes. I just can't imagine, like, the smell. I'm like, oh, yeah! You know what I mean? Like, because I had a sad face, and I don't want anyone to be, like, feeling shameful.
But if their toes are clean and you pour cream corn on them, it's not going to smell that bad.
I don't know.
Cream corn smells sweet.
Just message us.
Not corn
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Not corn toes.
I ain't fucking with anybody's corn toes.
I don't eat corn toes, but you can eat my toes with some corn on them. Anyway.
We should have, like, a barbecue.
I know. I have a bunch of corn at my house.
You can go to our Patreon to see what that even means. Uploading soon.
You're so stupid. Oh my god.
I bought all this. It said Jersey corn, and I was like, Jersey, and I, like, bought all these fucking corn.
Or it's just...
Are you serious? Yeah. Like, oh my god, wait, Jersey corn? Like, yes! It's so good.
You are so funny.
Did you eat corn in Jersey when you were there?
I mean, when my mom made it, yeah.
She was like, Jersey corn reminds me of home. I'm gonna buy some Jersey corn.
And she got beautiful toes.
She's like, I got like 4 pounds of Jersey corn.
I have a lot of corn.
Wait, how many? Like, I can.
And I got some guy off the fucking side of the road. He was so nice. The fruit man.
It was the grocery store.
He's like, he was so nice. Wait,
oh my god.
How long were you talking to the corn? Absolutely.
Like 5 minutes. Like, this is from the fruit man.
So he said, did it say?
From the fruit man. He told him where to go.
So how do you have the corn from the fruit man then?
No, he was like the corn man. I was just driving and he was like off the side of the road and I was like, oh my god, Jersey corn. I was like, I'll buy a bunch.
Ain't no shame in her game, that's all I'm saying.
She's like, oh, Jersey corn reminds me of, oh my god, I have it. Give me 5 pounds.
He was so nice.
That's hilarious.
Oh my god, so tips. Find the corn man and enjoy it.
Find your corn man. But also,
nice by it.
definitely, tip number 1 is find your corn eating man. Find your tribe. Number 2 is find a local dom in your area that can help you navigate.
Mm-hmm.
And number 3 is listen. Remember that you're not alone and that you're not crazy. You're not weird. It's not wrong what you're doing. You're actually exploring something that is probably going to make you happier and give you a lot more joy in your life. So fucking try it. But don't hurt anyone.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Don't hurt
most
anyone.
Of you, it's not weird. There are some of you where I'm like,
some
listen,
of y'all.
listen, we're not like,
We're like, we won't be doing that today.
yeah.
We're not talking to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know who you are. You know what I
Right.
mean? But like the rest of you, like the ones that are like, am I that person? Now, if you're questioning it, you're probably fine. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
like you can message us with tribute and like we'll help you figure it out.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
really
I'm
important.
saying.
The tribute part.
Yeah. The most important,
I'm
probably.
just saying, listen, if you want to be in the community, you have to know how it works.
Yes, just know.
Dorothy.
Definitely.
What did you say?
Dorothy.
What's that?
A Dorothy?
What's the
It's to like get in.
Oh, really? Dorothy.
I used to like
Like I thought they were like Dorothy. Dorf.
I was
Little.
like, oh my God.
I don't know where that was going.
Oh, it was just like corn dogs and Dorothy. Dorothy. I'm like, how do I spell that for my notes?
Dorothy. But you guys, thank you guys for viewing the podcast. We're gonna do, I don't know, should we do something spicy for Patreon? Like show our tits?
I don't know about that.
I'm like, I'm pretty sure this thing is here now. You're like, yes. I
I volunteer for you to show your tits. Go right ahead.
will. See, no shame. I
No
don't
shame.
hear the shame bell.
No.
No.
Where is it?
I feel like you should end it on that.
Yes.
You should.
Yeah, you guys need to hear this.
Yeah.
Shame. Shame.
Hey, bring it here. I gotta get that in the fucking in the sound.
Oh my god, you gotta like walk in front of it.
Okay, so for those of you,
You have to ring it and then tap it.
for those of you that this is what you think people are doing to you.
And tap for the shame.
Shame.
You gotta tap for the shame.
But they're not.
See how hard it is to actually get shame? You gotta tap for it. You gotta like
It's
stick it.
really not. They're not shaming you. So we're just saying, shake your little freak flag.
Shake your
Shake
tail
your bell.
feather.
Yeah, shake your bell.
Your freak bell.
Shake your bell. Don't let them shame you. Keep on shaking it. Shake it forever. Shake your tits. Tits up.
Well, I will say
It's
though,
ready
that,
for
like
that.
there are people who really like humiliation. So I mean, there's also nothing wrong with shame.
Right. And if
Yeah.
you like it.
I'm terrible at it though.
I'm not
I
that
like
good at it either. Look, okay, if you like it.
Come to me.
Shame. We also support.
Oh, I messed it up. Look. Oh, damn it.
It was locked.
It's like, damn it, but shame. Shame.
You can
Shame.
unlock it if you swipe it up.
Oh, okay.
You don't have a password? Are you crazy?
For 1 minute, you don't like.
Oh, I was gonna say I'm shame, but no password.
That's how I'm going to start the show.
Shame. Shame.
Wait, I want to get up to the camera and like do it.
Shame.
Oh my god, this is the
Just so you know, we're not going to do that to you, but this is what the world does to you.
Shame.
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 Shame. Like out of nowhere. That's hilarious.
I think you're ringing a bell for me.
We were doing this one. Where's my other one?
I don't know.
Oh.
Oh, you need it?
Okay.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
See? No
Thank you,
shame.
Jen.
No shame.
No shame in our game. But with that said, we want to end the episode on a good note. We want to thank you guys for viewing
Mm-hmm.
the Elevate and Dominate podcast. If you're listening to the Elevate and Dominate podcast, please go to our Patreon. Follow us. We would love that because eventually, you guys, actually next season, we were trying it this season, but we're going to phase out of this full episode stuff on Instagram and put our full episodes on our website and Patreon.
Yeah.
So we're telling you now because we don't want to just end this whole thing and you guys are like, where'd they go? We want you to watch the full episodes now. But we also want you to contribute to our community because we want to grow, we want to expand, we want to do bigger things, and we need to be supported. So with that said, go to our Patreon and become a subscriber, become a member, and go to our website and join the list. I'm going to start a newsletter very, very soon. We're going to be sending out tips and information once a month or once every other month so we can keep you guys connected with us. So
yeah. And who knows, maybe we'll have like tiers and you'll get like maybe like spicier things. Or like, I don't know.
No titties, though.
No titties,
No, well,
sorry.
obviously, come on. Like, if you really need to learn about the community, then you really need to sign up for Patreon because, like, you need some lessons, like, for sure.
I know, we know you guys want to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need you to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Seriously.
It's helpful.
It really is.
Because we all talk in the community. If you ain't right, like, everybody knows.
That's the truth. That is the truth. But with that said, I guess this is episode 13, y'all. Episode
I love
13. Episode 13, so tits up, baby. Thank you for joining us on another episode of the Elevate and Dominate podcast. We hope you enjoyed your time with us. Remember, the journey doesn't end here. Stay tuned every other week as we continue to unravel the mysteries of dominance and submission with a twist. Don't forget to follow us on social media for updates and share your thoughts using hashtag Elevate and DOMMENATE. Until next time, embrace your desires, explore the unknown, and always remember, power is meant to be shared.